Welcome to this week's episode of the Pull List Examiner. This is my weekly video where I take a look at the top 3 comics that I'm looking forward to reading when it comes to New Comic Book Day. And New Comic Book Day this week is going to be August 30th, 2023. There are not a lot of comics coming out this week, in my opinion. My list is only about 3 comics. So for a top 3, that should make things fairly easy. I'll just have to order them. I actually have 4 books I'm pulling this week, but let's take a look at what those are and in the order of how much I'm looking forward to reading them. Well, starting off at number 3 this week, we've got Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, issue number 8. I've been following this series since Dark Horse Comics took over for IDW for publishing Star Wars titles. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stick with it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm actually hearing that I think this is the series that coming up at issue 10, they're going to introduce Bad Batch, I think. So that could bring some speculation on the series, having Bad Batch in the comics for the first time. But the series is just a collection of short Star Wars stories, and it's for all ages. So if you've got kids, adults, you know, you can check it out if you're a Star Wars fan. I would recommend it. It's been fun to read. It hasn't been some of the, you know, greatest plot points or anything, you know, that has been earth-shattering for the continuity of Star Wars, but it's just been fun Star Wars stories. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And coming in at number 2 this week is Batman Catwoman, The Gotham War Battle Lines, issue number 1. I have no clue what this is. Apparently, Zdarsky, who has taken over the Batman series over at DC, he just wrapped up Daredevil. If you watched my last week's episode, issue 14 came out, his final issue, and now we're getting this brand new story arc, I think, and I think they're kicking it off with this special one-shot issue. If you read what is going on, it sounds like Batman and Catwoman are going to be getting into some kind of battle. That's based on the title, but if you check out the synopsis, it looks like they're kicking off a new story arc over in the main Batman title. I'm not exactly sure what that means. They just finished Night Terrors, so it sounds like maybe they're going to drop right into this new arc with the Batman series, and this is to kick it off. I also noticed there was some kind of like introductory, maybe like a issue 0 that was also related to this Gotham War, so I should probably check out what exactly is going on over there. But the interesting thing is this is partially written by Zdarsky. There's another author on the series, and I don't think it's the normal artist that's on the Batman title. We're getting multiple artists here too. Yeah, Zdarsky's writing it with Teeny Howard. So with that being said, I'm a Batman fan. I've been liking the main Batman series. I've liked what Zdarsky's done since he took over. It's kind of this weird multiverse kind of situation that he introduced in the last arc. So maybe this is the aftermath of that. We'll find out, but it's number 2 this week. And wrapping up this week at number 1, we've got The Incredible Hulk, issue number 3. This was something I was not planning on reading. If you've watched a couple of my previous episodes back, I talked about the fact that I did not jump on board the new Incredible Hulk series. But I started to hear people on YouTube and online saying, hey, this is a really good series, and it had kind of a prequel in the annual, and then issues 1 and 2 recently came out, so this week we're getting issue number 3, and I am really looking forward to seeing where they're going to go. They have done something very interesting with Incredible Hulk. They have basically thrown in, I guess you would call it almost like a horror genre type context around him. I think there's been series in the past that have done similar things, but what's going on is Bruce really doesn't seem to have control of the true Hulk side of him. He has that Hulk mentality that's taking over and really not giving him control all the time, and because of that, the Hulk side of him, the Hulk personality, is really doing whatever it wants, and sometimes even punishing Bruce. So kind of interesting. And you throw in some other, I would almost call it like horror genre, like I said, and it's making for a pretty good story so far. So this is actually my #1 title I am looking forward to reading when it comes to New Comic Book Day this week. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Pull List Examiner. As always, you can find my full pull list in the description of the video below. Last week, my #1 was the Ribbon Queen, issue #2, I believe, and it did not come out last week. It was delayed to this week, hopefully. So I didn't want to throw my #1 from last week back into the mix this week, even though it didn't come out because of the delays, but just wanted to let everyone know, if they are following week to week, that Ribbon Queen comes out this week. So remember to read them, bag them, and board them, and we'll see you next time on the Pull List Examiner. Thank you for watching.